stood tall like ancient pillars. We once wore tie-dye upon broad shoulders, Maroi magnificence, the example of excellence, no desire for decadence, our egos in governance. In other worlds wove space-time into complex intricacies, dabbled in destinies, remastered alchemy. No, Darwin, we evolved of our dynasties, laterally, linearly, evidently divinity. Super spiders patterned universes, no rehearsals, we played with time. In our image decorated the skies from the edge of the world that appeared no limits. Downfall never existed. So much presence we were gifted, birthed with wings. Obatala animated, wearing white cloth to the waterside. Sea oceans, nature's divine, she calls on her sisters to remember the times of masters of material manipulation. Culture and rhythm like the art of creation. Talking drum bend sounds in a distant hum. Atop mountains, meditating, magic transmutation, we built lifts for elevation. Yo, I am so hyped about these brand new teas. They've arrived. It is Stella B's Teas, the official merchandise provider for the Out of Noise podcast. All available on Shopify now, today. These are the official Poets t-shirts. So you have a poet here, a person of extraterrestrial substance with his noise cancellation. Poets are people of extraterrestrial substance. So I thought of designing what would a poet actually look like if you were to manifest it into a visual. I'm creative, if you didn't know. And yeah, so I drew up these characters, and the concept is like we are cancelling out the noise with by bringing in like substance to our lives and thinking about who we are, like, and exploring ideas that actually enhance our consciousness. So yeah, do check it out on Shopify on the link and buy one. You can buy one today. If you are an ET, you better get your tea. Welcome to the Out of Noise podcast with your host Stella B and
Nat Nai.
This is the podcast where we bring our peace
To the mic.
and we welcome you back frequently to tune into our frequency. Yes, we are back on episode 28 of the Out of Noise podcast. We are currently discussing trending subjects, soon to change. We just need to hit those subscribers 100. That's all we need. And then we can move on to other things that we really want to discuss on this podcast, which is all about growth. So we are discussing trending subjects. So what's been happening in the week, Nat Nai?
Well, we went to Speech Debelle's listening party, a Sunday dinner on a Monday. I believe I said that correctly. So that wasn't trending per se. It was trending in our lives, and we wanted to talk about it, right?
It was it was just really inspiring and wonderful to be around so many creatives. And we often talk about the lack of substance with what the mainstream is subject to in terms of artistry and musicality and, you know, entertainment. And we often say that entertainment is more than, art is more than entertainment. It's supposed to be enriching, it's supposed to reflect life, but it's also supposed to give a vision for a beautiful, you know, alternative to some of the pain and misery that we contest and deal with. And it's not just about being commodified. So being around similar-minded creatives was very, very beautiful and powerful. But specifically Speech Debelle, her as an artist, we just want to touch a little bit about that. What are your thoughts? Like, you've known her, I believe, but as an artist, I do remember when she won the Mercury Prize. So what's your earliest memories of Speech Debelle?
Yeah, the Mercury Prize award winning, and yes, from then, like, I just feel the level of artistry that Speech Debelle has is on a very high level. So everything that she produces is on a very high level. So really, I wasn't really surprised with what she created with this album, this latest album, which you must check out on Spotify, YouTube, the normal streaming platforms, because it's that quality. Like, it's that quality, and it's what she does. It's like her previous projects are top quality. She speaks to the human heart in her works. Her works are very relatable, and there's the high level of skill behind what she does. Yeah. What do you think?
Completely. She's just so talented in terms of the creative reservoir that she is tapped into. Like, she's just got endless thoughts going on. I remember we were having a meeting and discussing with her just the potential of working together. And I know that's going to happen one day. And we just have a moment to just dive into her mindset. And she kind of like constantly has new, fresh thoughts come in. Typical artist, but it's about the kind of way that her mind specifically works and the projects that she can manifest out of those ideas and concepts that she comes up with. And we've had the privilege of, you know, hearing some of the music from them. We also worked with Dem Drums on our own project, our EP, the Dreams Project. So we know firsthand like how amazing a producer All Dem Drums is. So we've heard a few of those kind of sounds before the listening party, and so we knew, you know. And she's just really very musical. Like, she's very got the air. Very few people have that privilege of having like almost like a cinematic view of everything, how it's going to sound, how it's going to look, the theatrics of it, you know, how I want to present this in terms of what's the emotion I want the audience to take away. And even though it's engineered in that way, it's still like there's still so much scope for more depth that comes out of that space of like, you know, the delivery of the message from speech. So yeah, like I agree, she's just really, really incredible. And some of the times we've had her music playing, it's kind of been like a backdrop to our lives, like a you know, yeah, like it's just so it just fits in perfectly and in sync with us and what we're about. But with, you know, anyone who has an ear for like quality, you're going to enjoy her new project. And then like future wise, I do think because we care so much about this subject, I think it's important that we find a way of discussing or reviewing like albums and just highlighting the ones that we would love to see more out there in the mainstream. Like we can do it from a British perspective because we are here, and we feel and know that the British talent it's not as represented globally as it should be. So this could be the space.
Black British specifically, right? Because we know that the Ed Sheeran's, Adele's, Coldplay's, Radiohead, like the list is endless. If you want to say like the English native group, there's in terms of global superstardom, we can keep going. Like, so it's not the same when we're talking about Black British specifically.
Facts. Like just before we came on, we were discussing like Stormzy and Central C, and I brought in colorism. I was adding that to the thing, but basically there's like a 3-year window for artists from the UK, like black UK artists specifically is who we're talking about. It's true. If you're Adele, there's endless. You're going to be a star till you die, and you'll have hits when you're 40, 60, whatever. if you're Ed Sheeran, same thing. Like, you can just morph and change into all genres of music, and it's fine. Like, do what you're doing. Like, but yeah, there's a 3-year window. Like, people still will say, oh, Stormzy, when we talk about this subject, 'cause we do talk about it quite a bit, they will say Stormzy, like, when you think, so who's the biggest global black British star right now? And people will say Stormzy. But it's soon to be, it's going to be Central C taking over that spot, is what they're pushing. It feels like they want to push that. And that's the colorism thing I was talking about, because talent-wise or whatever, you know, they're about the same, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. Just saying. That's what I think. And so and people love off Stormzy, so there's really no need to kind of remove one for the other. The only reason why they do that is because you can't have a dark-skinned black man shining so brightly for the world to see from the UK. Like, they're just not having that, especially one that's not compromised on, or he's going to wear a dress, or he's going to do some kind of whatever, and he's got African roots. Like, they're not going to have that being like, no, for everyone to love, or, you know, the restrictions are there, basically. It's like a time limit to this stardom. And I think also maybe the fact that he does speak out on certain things, and he's showing, okay, yeah, I'm a rapper and I do like the street thing, but here's some books. Also, I'm related to Cambridge. Here's this, here's that. And that is not the narrative. That doesn't fit in with the narrative of, like, you just do the gang culture and, you know, basically just play up to being stupid. That doesn't fit with that narrative. So, you know, I think they're moving that and shifting it to Central C now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like Central C and whoever else, like, we're not really on. We're not on top of the mainstream, what's hot right now kind of thing. But yeah, when it gets to reach you, then you're like, wow, that person must be big, right?
They are the kindest, most sincere people I've ever been around, ever. Forget everything you've ever heard. After you go to Africa, you got to go to Ghana first. Then you need to go to Botswana, because you need to see Botswana is the second richest diamond producer nation in the world. Them black people over there got something. And then you got to go to Johannesburg. That's what you got. You got to do that jump right there. Once you see that, you'll understand who we are. Them Africans ain't stole nothing from us. They talk about Burna Boy stole this. No, we stole from Burna Boy. Them Africans is us, man. They the beat. They the rhythm. They the soul. They the hard work. We get our courage from them.
They say your gratitude determines your latitude. I'm grateful to the Most High, there's no other substitute. I'm grateful for life, grateful for waking up, grateful that the Most High still hasn't forsaken us. With all our iniquities and inabilities, we still freely exist in this reality, in this life of sin, this life of malevolence. We're still highly blessed, and this is the evidence. Hey. Say one man has no light, and the other man has got no candle, and one man has no door. Say the other man has got no handle. Say life no be competition. They wanna put me in a